For the peer response, I chose my peer Brianna Dowd, and I believe a strong point she makes was discussing how excluding and labeling some texts as art versus not art really places limitations on these texts' ability to have a significant impact and influence on our world today. Brianna really dives deep into further explaining that doing so really places limitations on these texts' ability to add to our social construction, which is a collaborative construction of what we believe we know about ourselves and the world. I chose to elaborate on this point because I believe it is one that's very difficult but very interesting to discuss. I believe Brianna clearly establishes how and why labeling certain cultural products really limits our establishment of social constructionism, and she clearly defines social constructionism and cultural products within her video, which really allows for the viewer to establish a connection between the two, as well as further relate these two to the problem of labeling certain cultural products as art or not art. By doing so, Brianna really supported her points very well and articulated her discussion, which made it very clear and concise for the viewer to understand. I thought Brianna's discussion was very well supported and organized, but I believe one suggestion that she could add to the response would be to discuss the effects of subjectivity and positionality in the museum. Although she begins to kind of touch on how museums only reflect and represent the interests of the patron class, I believe more information could be offered describing the people of authority and how their experiences really influence their perception of text labeled as art. Because we all share different experiences and positions culturally, socially, and economically, other details describing the representation in museums would help really enrich our argument, I believe. Maybe some cultures are dominant and represented more in text labeled as art, and maybe some genders or classes are hardly represented in text labeled as art. I believe by discussing this, it could really help enrich her discussion, really add more detail to it.